What's up, everybody? I am back with a movie review starting the February month with romantic comedies and black films. And, you know, Valentine's Day, Black History Month kind of thing. I thought I'd, get the ball rolling on that. So, the first movie that I want to talk about was part of a TV show classic that I grew up with. A lot of people grew up with. The Proud Family movie came out in 2005 based off the hit TV show on the Disney Channel. Now, before I continue, please do me a huge favor and like this video, share this with your friends, drop your opinions in the comments about the Proud Family show and the movie itself. If you've seen it at all or remember it, let me know what you guys think. And follow me in the links in the description, such as my YouTube and Twitch channel, where I stream games, review content, and do some reaction videos. Anyway, of course, this is based off the Proud Family TV show written by or created by Bruce W. Smith. And it stars, of course, the great Kyla Pratt. A lot of people's crushes growing up, who voices Penny Proud. Tommy Davidson as Oscar Proud. Proud Snacks, one swallow, make your taste buds holler. Paula J. Parker as Dr. Trudy Proud, the wife. Jo Marie Payton as Sugar Mama. Tara Strong as BB and Cece and Cashew. Orlando Brown as Sticky Webb. It's crazy how, Orlando Brown's life turned out to be. Wow. Soleil Moon Fry as Zoe Hauser. Alicia Reyes as La Cienega Boulevardes. Karen Melania White as Dejanay Jones. Omarion as 15 Cent. Lisa Ray McCoy as the choreographer. Did you even bother to give her a name? Arsenio Hall as Dr. Carver, and Bobby Proud, Oscar's brother and the other son of Sugar Mama. Jeremy Suarez as Wally. We got Carlos Mencia as Felix Boulevardes and Maria Canales as Sunset Boulevardes. Alvaro Gutierrez as Papi, the grandfather of the Boulevardes. Kevin Michael Richardson as Bubble the Seabees and Mangler Mania. And we got Ari Spears as Wizard Kelly. So, the movie begins where Penny is days away from turning 16. And word gets around about this dance audition for the rapper 15 Cent. Clearly a play on 50 Cent. And of course, man, this is like a time capsule where we see like certain outfits that like 15 Cent is wearing. It's like early 2005 kind of wardrobes. Like you see, like how 50 Cent and G Unit when they first came out, that kind of outfit, or like you see like Chingy and Fabulous, the kind of outfits that was like the kind of style at the time in like the early 2000s. Definitely like did a research to make sure that you buy this is a kid rapper of that time, or even he could easily have been like Soulja Boy. So as like the girls, Penny and her friends was doing the auditions, none of them danced worth a damn. But the choreographer wanted to keep Penny, even though she wasn't really dancing all that well either. But Penny didn't want to do the go through with it without her friends, which shows a bit of a character for Penny, because she always like always backs up her friends. Even La Cienega, who's pretty much like a stuck-up rich kid. Oh my god, and I forgot all about the whole Gross sisters because they're hilarious in their own right. Because you talking about like iconic bullies in pop culture, we tend to forget to include the Gross sisters in that list. They should be right up there with like Nelson from The Simpsons and Biff from Back to the Future in terms of iconic bullies. Which, looking back on it now, I think we need bullies like that just to keep certain people in line. Like certain people that like the soft kids out there. I think we kind of neglected the ecosystem or like the importance of having like a bully, just to kind of test a person's mettle. At least get, prepare them through certain strains and adversaries that's going to be coming at you in life when you go out there on your own. Bullies kind of test that for you. Not the same advocating for like constantly getting bullied, but you gotta like at least go through that to some degree. I ain't talking about like Twitter, social media bullying. I'm talking like old school stuffing your locker, give you a wedgie, stealing your lunch money, bully. Of course, it's uncomfortable, but you got to go through uncomfortable stuff in your life in order to like, power through it. Because it's like it's like working on a muscle, and it only gets you stronger despite the strain. Anyway, the Gross sisters kind of got hired by the choreographer to kind of don't know why you hiring kids, to yeet out these other kids that you want to leave. It's like for things like this, you need the parents around or have actual security. You're doing choreography for a big time rapper. You don't think he should have security around to escort people that don't leave? Why you gotta actual hire other kids to do this job? That part is kind of dumb. But yeah, need some reason to get into Gross sisters. But of course, Penny and 15 Cent, who happens to be the cousin of Sticky, their Penny's other friend, they had like this little meet cute kind of thing. He ends up driving his big ass Hummer. Of course, at the time, Hummers was like a big vehicle of the time, even though they were like gas guzzlers. But there obviously was like, how like Cybertrucks are today? Cybertrucks are the Hummers of today, in a sense, where it's like everywhere because it's like the hot commodity right now. But just like Hummers, they'll probably go out of style pretty doggone fast because honestly they look stupid as hell and gaudy. Anyway, Penny, of course, being a teenager, especially 16, hormones are raging. She, like many girls at that age, thinks she's like all grown now, so nobody can't tell her nothing. She can, handle things on her own. But she got caught by her father making out with 15 Cent. And of course, he grounds her because she wasn't supposed to go out to that audition, and she went against went behind his back and went anyway, despite him saying like, expressly no. And I don't like Trudy in a lot of ways because just like the typical sitcom mom, rarely we see almost like, depending on the sitcom, but certain TV moms don't back up the dad when he putting his foot down. I get it. Oscar Proud is like the goofy dad that the mom has to come save from himself, which is a horrible depiction of TV fathers. but we already, I guess, we got have the polar opposite of Uncle Phil, I guess. But Trudy should have like really seriously backed up Oscar on this one, especially after Penny uh, uh, vehemently disobeyed her. It's very much like Simba with Mufasa. Mufasa told Simba not to go to the elephant graveyard and went behind his back, and of course, rightly so, Mufasa was furious. So, why is it truly? I guess you could argue she was talking to Penny about it. No, no, she was doing this softball bull crap instead of like she should have at the very least like, no, Penny, you know you're wrong for that. Your dad told you not to do something, and you went behind his back and you did it anyway. Of course, like, and then went and said like, I wish he wasn't my father, and it's just like, okay, so tempers, tempers are high, but Oscar, despite the goofiness, because he's the comic relief, he's still the father, and it's like there's gotta be some level of respect there. Uh, I don't care how unfair it might seem, but the fact that like you like uh uh you just like blatantly disobey your parents. That's just like, why would you expect some? What you honestly thought was going to happen when you got back and they found out, or especially even if you got the gig and somehow you went to this thing and which is televised and it gets out into the ether, and then the parents found out then. How furious do you think they will be? Because like, teenagers don't think that doggone far ahead. They think they always right. But I'm just kind of mad at Trudy. I think she's kind of like the true villain of this film, because the fact that she doesn't back up her man when the kid clearly had done wrong. So Oscar said that canceling it, like, all right, you ain't gonna have no birthday party, none of that. All that is done. You're grounded, clearly, rightly so. But Oscar creating like a new formula for long lasting for his Proud Snacks, or the peanut kind of thing, where he takes this formula because he's a business entrepreneur. He well, Trudy's a doctor, so she probably makes like the bulk of the finances. But I don't even recall if Oscar. I'm pretty sure he has at least a couple of successful events when it comes to his Oscar snacks, because he's an entrepreneur. He made like these like snacks that the joke of it from the show is this almost always never good. They're always nasty in some kind of capacity. But I don't know. It gotta be some instances where it actually, without backpedaling to being nasty, like a true blue successful snack recipe. He gotta have something, because otherwise, like, what's the point of you keep doing this and it's like it always end up nasty. At a certain point, you're just kind of like throwing money down a toilet. Anyway, he goes to these board members to try to pitch his formula for extending like the expiration on snacks, but in multiplying his Oscar snacks, he gets kicked out. But the previous person who was pitching this, which is our main villain, Dr. Carver, and yes, he's pitching this peanut idea, which did not work well. And of course, he is like related to the great Dr. Carver, who created the multiple ways of uses of the peanut. So Carver, who has this peanut henchman, Cashew, I think, sees that Oscar has this formula that he could use for his own uh, peanuts because you want to make a peanut army and take over the world. It's about as dumb as it sounds. He tricks the Proud family into this getaway vacation on this island that no one's ever heard of, but they go along with it because Sugar Mama was ready to like do this vacation thing. So they go on this family trip against Oscar and Penny's wishes against the whole entire thing. But Trudy thinks it's a good idea to bring the family together. So they end up going, and of course, things go awry as turns out Carver is taking hair samples from all of them and making peanut clones out of them. But all that it's not selling too well with Penny because she's butthurt about not getting what she wants. She's totally against her family, even especially her father, all this other stuff. And she gives like the cashew this backstory, and you'd think, oh, she'll just start from the whole story with the whole 15 cent thing, but she goes way back. She's like, oh, it's a long story, and it's like, you don't need to start from your dang own birth, lady. But then you get this soft story with Cashew. I wish I knew my parents. So you're lucky. Like, oh God, it's one of those things. But Oscar getting told by this random peanut that's coming from the jungle who's wearing like a the African colored green, red, black color on his head. Like again, it's like predominantly like a black show, but are these little peanut henchmen people supposed to represent they're supposed to be somewhat culturally black or something like that? Like, why do you need to have that kind of hair wrap on for this peanut henchman? Can you just be peanut henchman? Why you gotta throw on that kind of stuff? Yeah, it's like you don't need to have the Proud family celebrating Kwanzaa and every so often is wearing dashikis. It's like we get it. One of the reasons I love the Proud Family show and not the revitalization that came out a couple of years back, which is so full of DEI woke bull crap. I'm talking about the early years in the early 2000s. What was appealing is what I always found appealing to something like Static Shock, where it's just a normal black family that rarely touch on these cultural, racial things. Rarely touch on that. When they do, it actually is impactful and meaningful, and actually give you something to talk about and not lecturing you. But primarily, it's just a fun show that everybody can enjoy. It's not just only a black show. But yeah. Sorry, I got a little distracted. There's somebody trying to call me while I'm trying to do this. That was appealing to me, and I kind of wish they kind of stuck with that, at least for the revitalization. But I had no hopes for that. I didn't even watch it, but I seen clips of it, and it kind of irked me. Where it's like, oh my God, even you guys leaning too hard into the whole black and proud attitude, and it's like, yeah, I get it, but you're already blacker and prouder. I was like, look, you already sold us on it, and it isn't just a black show, Everybody from different races enjoyed the Proud Family TV show. You trying to do all this extra stuff on top of it. It's just is cringy. Honestly, it's and that's why you like a character like Zoe, where she's not like Zoe and La Cienega, because they're not black. But they're part of the supporting cast that you love and appreciate, because you get different perspectives and you got like authentic representation here. That sure it's primarily a black, kind of like a black show, but you got like characters like Zoe and her family, and La Cienega and her family, and all the stuff that the different perspectives that the black people can actually learn from, as well as the other races can learn from. But anyway, uh, uh, the peanut that kind of stops Oscar and warns him about like Carver, that he's up to no good. Do not give him your formula. Whatever you do, do not give him your formula. So now, when he has like a private time with Carver, he is kind of suspicious of him now, because he's very gung ho about getting his formula, but he plays it cool, like, you know what, I don't even have it on me, but I'll take the check and I'll like hit you up about it later. So he ends up trying to capture Oscar. He ends up cloning his family, and while making his escape thanks to the peanut guy in the forest, he tried to get his family, but the clone Penny Proud uh, uh, steps in, while the real Penny ends up bumping into the clone family to try to like get them to get off the island. And of course, they believe in that, the formula has to be back on the mainland. So they just go ahead on, and Penny, too eager to get off the island so she can do the whole 15 Cent audition, because she's so like, so focused, hyper focused on that. She's obsessed. It seems like it's always like, girls like that at that age, always that's their whole lives. I want to be a backup dancer to this hot, musical artist that like I'm infatuated with. All girls were killed, to be like a backup dancer to like NSYNC or Usher or 50 Cent or Soulja Boy or Chris Brown and all this other stuff. They would have loved it, and probably would have done what probably Penny done and went behind their parents' back completely against their wishes to go do that. I'm pretty sure when they got older, they look back on it. Yeah, that was kind of dumb, but it's always a thing. I never had that kind of thing. It's like there's idols I liked, but I wouldn't sit there and that obsessed to go out my way to sneak out to go see some kind of concert. That wasn't me. Like, but that's just me. But anyway, so she ends up learning the same driving lessons from when she was trying to do some driving lessons at the school. Somehow it correlates for driving a boat for some reason, but as a cartoon, we'll go with it. Drives back to the mainland. Don't know how she figured her way back to the mainland, because she's not she has no nautical experience. But they end up going back home, and because the clone parents don't give a crap, but I do kind of like that they do something funny with the clones, where Clone Penny is all like obedient and like just like a martial arts expert kind of thing, and always scowling. Clone Oscar, is not so hyperactive and speaks matter of factly. Clone Trudy talks in a very Ebonic hood speak. Clone Sugar Mama is, speaks in Spanish. And we got Clone BB and Cece. BB being voiced by Keith David, and the clone Cece is Tara Strong. I thought that was pretty doggone funny. But that's probably like the only thing that got a laugh out of me the entire film. I gotta be honest with you, I expected more from the show. I'm not sure why. I thought, because I don't remember seeing this. I'd like to think I saw this movie when it came out on Disney Channel. but it's just like maybe I saw it once and didn't think nothing of it. Years later, I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm thinking to myself, God, they could have done so much better with this material, and this is all boring. All of it is boring. I rarely get laughs, and you got somebody like Tommy Davidson and Arsenio Hall, and I'm getting zero laughs. It's weird. So, of course, like the clone father's letting Penny do whatever, while back on the island, Oscar's enjoying the clone Penny, who he doesn't realize is a clone, that's actually being obedient and doing whatever it is that he tells her to. But the real family meets the real Dr. Carver, who explains to them that the one that they met is actually a clone who is cloned from Peanuts, and he kind of went bad, and literally and metaphorically. And so he wanted to take over his research to try to make an army of peanut men. So that's where like Oscar lets it slip that the formula is left in Penny's necklace that he got for her birthday to keep as like a the safe spaces he think he knows. So clone Penny is revealed. She reports back to Evil Carver and the clone family, who goes after the real Penny, who's at the 15 Cent audition, so she can get ready to do the dance for his next appearance. So realizing that her family's in danger, she gets her friends, makes her way back to the island somehow, and rescue her family, while hopping onto the blimp of Evil Carver, utilizing this gas that could given by the real Carver to disintegrate the clone peanuts and turn them into peanut butter. They go all the way down to the Wizard Kelly, auditorium where the 15 Cent, concert is supposed to happen, where Penny, utilizing gas thanks to the help of her father, who she realized might not be perfect, but she wouldn't trade them for anything else in the world, blah blah blah, and she used the gas to destroy all the clone peanuts. And Oscar lets Penny go dance with her friends at the 15 Cent little concert thing, and that's where the movie ends. And I gotta say, I really did not enjoy this film. It's weird, man. I expected a lot more from this, but this was just, I wouldn't say it's boring. The animation still holds up from the show that I remember growing up watching. The actors involved are doing their jobs. They're great, but it's just like the writing material, or at least the story, I should say, is just boring. They could have done a lot with this material. It's not like I couldn't track it, but it's like this whole 15 Cent, kid, and some contrived way to force like Penny and her father to be on the outs with each other. Trudy not backing up her husband and realizing her daughter is being like a complete brat. And they could have written in some funny material, because I remember the show being extremely funny. And for I remember having smart writing, I really don't remember any complaints about the show. I'm pretty sure there are. No show is perfect, but it has multiple seasons for a reason. It had some legs, so I'm just shocked that the movie sucks so bad. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the Proud Family movie. Maybe you guys got a different opinion on it. You guys got to check it out for yourself and see if there's something I'm missing, because I expect a whole lot more from this. But anyway, I got one more movie to review before I end the content for tonight. But like I said, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you all later. Peace.